رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about Surah Yunus and Surah Taraweeh, right? Remember how we said? Surah Yunus is the first, like when you look at the chronological order of the surahs, Surah Yunus is the first surah with the Prophet's name, right? And then Surah Hud also. And we also mentioned that just because the surah is named after the Prophet, that doesn't mean the whole surah has a story. Now the next surah is Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf is special. Surah Yusuf is special because the whole surah talks about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Okay? Yeah, the whole surah talks about that. Okay?
Was he the one who became the Prime Minister of Egypt?
He became the finance minister of Egypt.
Finance Minister.
Okay? Yes. Yes, that's the story. And what I wanted to say is, just like Surah Yunus and Surah Ra'd, this surah is also this surah was also revealed in the last stage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life in Mecca. Okay, so which means this surah is kind of giving Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam strength, because now it's been how many years? Almost 13 years, and the Quraysh are treating him badly, and they are not following Islam, and the Muslims are suffering persecution. Abu Talib passed away, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't have support.
And
Okay.
also a lot of his protection is gone now.
His protection is gone now.
It was this the time that his uncle and his
Wife passed away. Yes, that's what I meant. I said Abu Talib passed away. Okay, so Allah is preparing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and just like in Surah Yunus and Surah Ra'd, Allah is consoling him that all the other prophets went through the same thing. Okay, all the other prophets went through the same thing, and he was not the only one. So that's consolation, right? Another thing is in the previous two surahs, Surah Yunus and Surah Ra'd, the other prophet stories were shared, and how Allah brought down punishment upon them because
they kept
the people did not accept Islam. Okay, so and how they were destroyed because of that, right? Now surah, so that was also like a harsh reminder and warning. Stop moving, Ahmed. That was a reminder for the disbelievers that this is what will happen to them. Okay. Now Surah Yusuf, on the other hand, is more to give consolation to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to prepare him for hijrah. Allah is like kind of promising him that what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam goes through a lot of trials, and he was patient, and ultimately he gets success in the dunya and the akhirah. Okay, so that's the same. That's Allah is kind of giving Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam a subtle message that inshallah that's what is going to happen to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also. Okay, and kind of preparing for him for hijrah, because if you look at the story of Yusuf alayhi salam also different circumstances, but he was forcefully moved from where he used to live to another land, right, to Egypt, because of how his brothers threw him in the well and all that.
And then the traders will come and sell him.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to? So I'm going to start reading from the first page of Surah Yusuf. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Ra. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. Okay, and then after that the ayah of where he sees the dream. Okay, go ahead and read that one.
One day, Yusuf alayhi salam had a unusual dream. In the dream, 11 stars and the sun and the moon all bowed down to him. When he woke up, he told his father about this strange dream. The Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam understood right away that his young and best loved son would become great one day. This had been made plain in the dream.
Yeah, and that's the ayah, ayah number 4, but I didn't read that part. Okay, what you just read right now. The translation of what I read now is Allah is telling how Alif Lam Ra, these are the ayahs of the book that is clear. Okay, that makes things clear. It's a clear message. And then Allah is telling how Allah has revealed the Quran in Arabic so that you may understand, because the people in Mecca were Arabs, right? And then Allah is telling that we relate to you the best stories. Allah is calling Yusuf alayhi salam's story the best, one of the best stories ever to be told.
Is he after Prophet Ibrahim?
Yeah.
That's why they're including Mecca.
That's why they're including Mecca?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make sense. But Yusuf alayhi salam was the great grandson of Ibrahim alayhi salam.
And his dad was the
His dad was grandson of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay? But what do you mean by including Mecca? From his other son, Ibrahim alayhi salam's other son, Ismail, came Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who was in Mecca. Okay? So it's two sons, Ishaq and Ismail. From Ishaq came, yeah, he is from the Bani Israel, because Israel is basically Yaqub alayhi salam, that progeny. Whereas Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is from,
actually his dad is only Israel.
Yaqub alayhi salam's other name is Israel. Okay? So Allah is calling Yusuf alayhi salam's story the best story. Okay? نحن where is that? نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. أحسن means the best story. Okay? So from this story, okay, Allah is sharing Allah is telling Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam about patience, how Yusuf alayhi salam was so patient, okay, and how eventually his patience is being rewarded. And no matter what, he never gave up his strong faith in Allah, no matter what difficult trials he went through. Like for example, Yusuf alayhi salam was in prison. He was wrongly accused of a sin, of a crime, and put in prison. Okay, and he still remained patient. Okay. Another thing is Yaqub alayhi salam. He was also so patient, and he just turned to Allah because
for like many years.
For years, his beloved son was lost, and he just turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and complained to Allah of his sadness and made dua. At the same time, he never lost hope. He always had that hope that one day I will be reunited with my son. Okay? And what else is there in the story? You guys tell me.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
So when Prophet Yusuf first got lost, where the brothers will throw him into the well and they'll lie to their father. His father loved him so much, and he was one of the younger brothers, and he cared for him so much that he cried so much that he went blind.
He lost his eyesight. Yeah, he was so sad. He cried so much, and he lost his eyesight. But at the same time, he didn't lose hope in Allah.
It's a story about like a jealousy, because they were jealous that that the father liked Yusuf salam more, but it ended up by them throwing him into the well. He would just like them less, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it also shows that sometimes feelings like jealousy can come But if it becomes a sin when you act upon it, like what did the brothers do?
They threw
They threw their own brother into the well, right? That was really very bad. That was very evil, right?
They even did something.
Yeah, they acted upon their jealousy. Yes?
And then another thing that happened was he goes to jail, and then the king, he has a dream. So then he Yusuf alayhi salam tells Yusuf, this king tells Yusuf alayhi salam to say the meaning, and then he says the meaning, and then he gets out of jail.
Yeah. And at the same time, Yusuf alayhi salam wants to make sure that his name is cleared out. And so his name is first cleared out, and then he gets out of the jail, and then he interprets the dream for the king. And the king is so impressed, and that's how he actually becomes the finance minister. Okay? And then towards the end of this, okay, so coming back to the jealousy. Okay, another point about the jealousy is, this is what Ammar is coloring, right Ammar? Ammar, do you know what you're coloring? So you know what will happen to Yusuf alayhi salam? His brothers will be so mean that they'll throw him in the well, into a well.
Oh,
Okay?
how old was he when he was in?
He was a very young boy. Okay?
Like my age?
Maybe somewhere between 7 to 12. I don't know. I don't know the exact age. But a
I
young
thought
boy.
he was a baby.
No. Okay? So Yusuf alayhi salam will be saved from the well by some merchants, and they'll take him and sell him in the market as a slave to the Aziz, to the chief of that place, like kind of like a mayor, and then he'll grow up in that house. Okay, and that's where he'll be accused of doing the wrong, bad deed, and then he'll go to jail.
He was the wife was the one who.
Yeah, the
So-
wife was involved in accusing him of doing a bad deed, and then he goes to jail. You remember the story? Yeah. And then he goes to jail, and then he comes out, and then does he get reunited with his family in the end?
Yeah.
When he gets reunited, when he meets his
Oh,
brothers,
he has a new brother.
oh, he has a new brother also, but when he sees, Binyamin,
But that's not new, brother, right?
yeah, he must have been, he's younger than Yusuf alayhi salam, so he's so when he sees his brothers who threw him in the well, does he punish them? No. He punishes them in.
Like he doesn't. He's not eerie. Like he doesn't.
He's not. He teaches.
Cruel. He's not cruel.
Yeah, he teaches them a lesson. He doesn't punish them. Okay. He teaches them a lesson by the whole incident where he'll keep Binyamin with him, and then their dad Yaqub alayhi salam will think that, oh, again my sons are, trying to get rid of my youngest son. Well, that will happen. You know that story? Do you remember that story?
But instead,
Okay, so
inside
what
the
will
He
happen?
just ended it.
and he'll hide the gold inside the sacks,
Good.
right? That they
Yeah,
hid.
yeah. So what will happen is, many years later, when he's the finance minister, okay, at that time there will be a drought in all of Egypt. Okay, when there is a drought, because Yusuf alayhi salam was the finance minister and he had the ability to, Allah gave him the ability to interpret dreams, he knew that the drought was going to come, and when the drought came, he knew how to prepare for it. He was already prepared for it. So Egypt had
Prepare the country.
basically prepared the place, the nation, okay, the kingdom for it. And because they were prepared, they had a lot of surplus food. And so people from even the outskirts of the place heard about, oh, if you go to this place, you'll get some food. If you go to Egypt, you can get food. And so like that, Yusuf alayhi salam's family will also come to get food.
That's how far away from the place it was. The place where he used to live.
Canaan, yeah. From Canaan, they'll come to, very good, Ammar. From Canaan, they'll come to get food. The minute he sees his brothers, he recognizes them, but they don't recognize him because he was a young boy and now he's a big man, right? But they were already big then, so he
In his
recognizes them.
20s.
I don't know the exact age just now. Okay? So he recognizes them, and he decides to teach them a lesson. He could have just maybe punished them. He had power at that time, right? He was the finance minister. He could have punished them, but he won't punish them. Instead, what does he do?
He takes his brother Benjamin.
He teaches. No, at that time Benjamin was not there. He tells them that I will give you more food, but you need to show me proof that you have you need to tell me how many people are there in your house. Because Benjamin was not there with them.
So that you don't take like too much.
Yeah, okay, to make sure that, and plus he had this agenda that, okay, when they come back with Benjamin, he wanted to see him and kind of keep him with, and the plot to keep him and teach them a lesson. So they will, Yusuf alayhi salam will tell them that no, you have to go and bring back your brother to prove to me that you have another brother at home, so that I can give a load for him as well. Okay, and then they'll explain. They would have probably explained that my dad can't come. He's blind and he lost his eyesight. He's all those things they might have explained. And then they'll go and tell their dad. Okay, you know what? The finance minister of Egypt told that we have to come back with Benjamin if we want food for him as well, like supplies for him, provisions for him as well. Dad, please let us take him. So now the dad is scared that he remembers what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam many years ago. So he's like, you guys are going to go and get rid of him as well, just like you got rid of Yusuf. And then they'll be like, no, dad, we'll take care of him, and they'll promise him and all that. And finally, they'll take Benjamin with them. And they take Benjamin with them. When Yusuf alayhi salam sees him, he's happy, and then he decides to play a trick on them. And then what he'll do is, without the brothers noticing, he'll go and keep something in Benjamin's load. Okay? And then
like gold and stuff, right?
Yeah, some measuring cup kind of a thing that was valuable. Okay? So, and then they'll announce the people will announce that, oh, the thing is lost. And then they'll check everybody's things, and actually Yusuf alayhi salam is the one who made his, so people put it in Benjamin's load, but it'll seem like Benjamin stole it because they found it there. And so these brothers are still, actually they have not repented. Okay, you know how we know that? Because they are like, oh, you know what, he had another brother also. He's just like our half brother. He had another brother also who was like him, who would steal, and he's, we are not like, we are not like that. You got that, Asma?
Say so that they could get him.
Yeah. And then Yusuf alayhi salam knows the truth. Imagine they're telling all that to Yusuf alayhi salam.
They're saying it to their own brother that you are like.
Yeah, but they don't know that. Do you get it, Asma? Yeah. And then Yusuf alayhi salam would have been like, oh, these people have not changed still. Because they're still trying to blame Yusuf alayhi salam, and they still have hatred and jealousy in their heart for him, even though he's not there anymore.
Even though they literally like
pushed him into the well and all
They would have thought that he was dead. But
yeah, they would have thought he's never ever coming back. And then Yusuf alayhi salam will say that there's only one way. You have to go and bring your parents here so that we release Benjamin. Okay. Otherwise,
How old is Benjamin?
Again, I don't know the exact age, Asma. Okay.
He's just
He was a young lad.
He's
Okay,
not
a young
ours.
boy. Yeah. So then Benjamin will be with Yusuf. Maybe Yusuf alayhi salam would have told, I'm actually your brother and whatnot. And then when they go back, and then they tell their dad that, oh, you know what, this time we are not lying. Really, the finance minister over there kept our brother captive because he stole and all that. You have to come. And then finally Yaqub alayhi salam will agree, and they all will go back together. The brothers will be so scared because now this time they didn't do a bad deed, right? They didn't do anything to the brother, but it's as though they're still responsible for the brother, right? And it's as though they
Now what
harmed
they
him.
said happened to Yusuf when he was small
Actually is happening.
like
not-
last time
not
they
the
said it
wolf
was
eating.
by mistake.
Yeah.
This time
Actually thrown him into Yusuf alayhi salam into the well, and they lied to the dad that a wolf ate their brother.
and they put sheep
Okay.
blood on.
Yeah. So then finally Yaqub alayhi salam, he goes with them, and then they are reunited, and Yusuf alayhi salam forgives them, and by then the brothers now realize that, oh, this was our brother Yusuf, so they are feeling very remorseful and humiliated and embarrassed, and this time they will repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will repent to the ask for forgiveness from Yusuf alayhi salam also.
And then what happens in the dream happens.
Oh yes, that's the important part. The one that the dream that you just read, right, Asma? That's how the surah starts with, and the realization of that dream, meaning the dream came true in the end of the surah, where. So what was the dream, Asma?
The dream was one day Yusuf alayhi salam had
Just tell me what was the dream.
the 11 stars.
11
The
stars
sun
and the sun
were
bowing,
bowing.
prostrating
So
to
the
Yusuf
sun
alayhi
was
salam.
Yusuf alayhi salam's daddy Yaqub, the moon was the mom, and the 11 stars
11
were his
brothers are.
brothers.
That's not being mentioned, but and the 11 brothers, okay, and the 11 brothers, and the dream will come true because the dream will come true because in the end they all are kind of bowing down to they reunited,
Yeah.
and they're like paying respect to Yusuf alayhi salam because he has become he's in a great position now, and mainly more than the sun and the moon prostrating, it's like this 11 brothers bow down to him as form of respect and kind of to seek forgiveness from him.
For what they
Right,
did to
Asma?
him.
Asma, did you hear me? You get it? Okay. There was one more thing that I wanted to mention in between, and that was how I forgot. I think we'll just stop here. Oh, how is this related to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that point? That's what I wanted to mention.
Because he was
true.
because he was wronged, and like Allah's giving him. He was wronged by the Quraysh,
And from his own loved ones too.
like his own uncles and
Abu Lahab and
were like
against him.
So he's giving reassurance that just like how Yusuf alayhi salam was able to make things right.
Yeah, and so just like how Yusuf alayhi salam had to go through that, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going through it, but Allah is kind of subtly promising him. That in the end, Allah will give victory to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Islam. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one comparison. What else can you think of?
That his dream will come true.
Like all the lessons you've been saying, like not wanting vengeance to the brothers and like all those lessons.
And the forgiveness, the patience, right? And most of all, it's like reassurance.
And he was sad, like Yusuf alayhi salam, because
His own family, right? Imagine his own brothers threw him into the well. So Allah is like kind of telling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at least it's not that, it didn't get as bad for you, right? And through the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, who is being taken away from his homeland Canaan to Egypt, just like that, Allah is giving him a future prediction into the future that you will also leave from him here. Because remember, this was one of the surahs that were revealed in the last, it's kind of before the hijrah, right? When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very sad that his wife passed away, his uncle passed away, he didn't have any support.
No one's like a lot of people aren't following Islam.
Yeah, no, the Quraysh are not following Islam. And then he tried going to Ta'if, and even over there he was stoned and he had to run away from there. right? So he doesn't have any support right now, and
Does he have, at that time, were there a lot of Sahabas?
yeah, there were Sahabas, but most of the Sahabas were people from, poor people. There were some rich people like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and Uthman radiallahu
But
anhu.
a lot of people
Ali?
migrated already. So
Ali radiallahu
he was
anhu
kind of with himself, Abu Bakr and Ali,
Yeah.
just a few people.
Ali radiallahu anhu.
Ali radiallahu anhu also went with him, but he was a young boy then, right? He couldn't support Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Mecca.
I thought that
Well,
was
he
the
did
time.
outlast people.
I thought that was the time that Ali went for the war.
That is in Medina. That is in Medina. Yeah.
That's better.
Okay, let's stop here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.
Okay, that's the finest day in the world.